Why does someone walk out of your life without saying anything? Someone suddenly disappearing from your life without a word leaves you feeling lost and confused. You're left with 1,000 questions and an emptiness that's hard to shake. But let's break down some of the reasons why this might have happened. 1. Weakness. When someone walks away without explanation, it often stems from their inability to face the situation head-on. It's a display of weakness, an admission that they aren't equipped to handle the emotions, the confrontation, or the complexity of the relationship. Instead of dealing with the difficult conversations and the potential for discomfort, they opt for the easy way out. This choice reveals more about their character than yours. It's a coping mechanism that speaks to their limitations, not your worth. It's crucial to recognize that their departure doesn't reflect your value. It's easy to internalize someone else's actions, to wonder if you did something wrong. But in reality, their decision to walk away without a word is a reflection of their own fears and insecurities. They chose silence because they weren't strong enough to handle the truth, to deal with their own emotions, or to offer you the respect of a proper farewell. 2. Respect. Respect is a fundamental pillar of any relationship. When someone leaves without saying anything, it's a clear signal that they didn't respect you enough to offer even a simple explanation. This lack of respect is a glaring red flag, one that you shouldn't ignore. In any relationship, whether it's romantic, platonic, or professional, respect is the minimum requirement. If they can't give you that, then their presence in your life was never going to be beneficial in the long run. Their silence is a form of disrespect that cuts deep, but it also serves as a wake-up call. It's a moment to reassess the relationship and recognize that you deserve better. You deserve people in your life who value you enough to communicate, even when it's uncomfortable. The absence of respect is not just a flaw in them, it's a boundary you need to enforce for yourself. Demand respect, and don't settle for anything less. 3. Fear of confrontation. Confrontation is difficult for many people because it requires facing emotions, hard truths, and the potential for conflict. For some, the idea of confrontation is so terrifying that they'd rather disappear than face the discomfort. This fear isn't necessarily about you, it's about their own internal battles. They might be avoiding their own demons, running from the shadows of their past, or dodging the accountability that comes with being honest and direct. Their fear of confrontation is a reflection of their own struggles, not an indication of your worth. It's easier for them to vanish than to confront the reality of the situation. But this avoidance behavior is something they'll carry with them, impacting their future relationships as well. For you, it's a painful but important lesson in recognizing that some people are simply not equipped to handle the complexities of human connection. 4. Guilt. Guilt can be a powerful motivator for avoidance. Sometimes people vanish because they're drowning in guilt. Guilt over something they did, something they said, or perhaps something they failed to do. Facing you would mean confronting that guilt, owning up to their mistakes, and dealing with the emotional fallout. Instead, they choose to disappear, believing that distance will somehow absolve them of the burden they carry. But running from guilt doesn't erase it. It only buries it deeper, where it festers and grows. For the person left behind, it's important to understand that their disappearance is not about you. It's about their inability to cope with their own feelings. Guilt is a heavy load, but it's not yours to bear. They left because they couldn't handle the weight of their own conscience, not because you did anything wrong. 5. Immaturity. Immaturity is a common reason why someone might think ghosting is an acceptable way to end things. They lack the emotional intelligence and maturity to handle relationships like adults. They don't understand that real connections require communication, even when it's difficult. Instead, they opt for a childish exit, avoiding the responsibility that comes with being in a relationship. This kind of behavior highlights their lack of growth and understanding of what it means to truly connect with another person. It's a sign that they still have a lot of personal development to do, and unfortunately, that development can't happen while they're running away from problems. For you, it's a reminder that maturity is essential in any relationship. Without it, any connection is likely to crumble under pressure. 6. Selfishness. When someone walks out of your life without explanation, it's often an act of pure selfishness. They're putting their own feelings and needs above yours, prioritizing their comfort over your closure. It's easier for them to leave without a word than to deal with the emotional consequences of their actions. This selfishness is a sign that they're more concerned with their own well-being than with maintaining a healthy, respectful relationship. Their selfishness reveals a lack of empathy and consideration for others. It's a red flag that this person was never truly invested in the relationship. While it's painful to be on the receiving end of such behavior, it's also an opportunity to recognize that you deserve better. You deserve relationships where mutual respect and consideration are the norm, not the exception. Avoidance. Avoidance is a coping mechanism that some people rely on to escape difficult situations. Maybe they've always been avoiders, showing little signs you missed while you were too invested. When push came to shove, they chose to slip away quietly because facing the storm was never their style. This avoidance behavior is not about you, it's about their inability to deal with discomfort. People who avoid conflict and difficult conversations are often stuck in a cycle of running from their problems. Unfortunately, this means they're unlikely to grow or learn from their experiences. For you, it's a harsh but valuable lesson in recognizing avoidance behaviors early on and setting boundaries to protect yourself from future pain. Number 8. Indifference. Sometimes, the brutal truth is that the person who left didn't value the relationship as much as you did. Indifference can be a hard pill to swallow, but it's a reality that some people are just not as invested as you are. If they can leave without a word, it's possible that their priorities were elsewhere, and you weren't at the top of their list. Indifference hurts, but it also frees you. It allows you to see the situation for what it truly was, not what you hoped it could be. This realization empowers you to move on, knowing that you deserve someone who values you as much as you value them. It's a reminder that not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay, and that's okay. What matters is that you learn, grow, and continue to seek out relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. Conclusion. In the end, the reasons why someone walks out of your life without saying anything have more to do with them than with you. Their actions are a reflection of their own issues, not your worth. Use this experience as a stepping stone to greater self-awareness and stronger, healthier relationships in the future. Keep moving forward with confidence, knowing that you deserve better than silence.